Welcome to my messy garage. Cranky cameraman here. I'm a director of photography, independent, based in San Antonio, Texas. I shoot video for business and some traditional broadcast. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I started my career in Los Angeles. First 22 years, and about a little over a year ago, I relocated to South Texas and kind of working on smaller projects here, which I'm enjoying. And I got one coming up. Let's see, it's Thursday afternoon. I got the day off. Well, at least I'm not on set, but I'm using this afternoon to prep. I've got a 2-camera shoot at a television station next week, 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, and it's teleprompters. So I own 2 prompters, 2 15-inch broadcast, high-nit, sunlight readable. However, much like my Arri cameras, I keep one in Los Angeles and one with me here in Texas. So this job called for 2 prompters. I'll just take you through a quick run through here. This is a mirror image display. This is actually my backup display. My shoot last week, my pick flip monitor, same size, I think it's 1,000 nit, 1,200 nit, I forget now. It died. I think the video board's bad. It actually wouldn't come up on the shoot, and then it intermittently came up, and then it quit. But fortunately, I carry a spare, and we swapped that out. So I got that on for now. It's not as bright, but we're gonna be in a studio, so it'll be fine. So this is on an older Q-Gear prompter frame, which is Prompter People. I don't know if it was a different company they acquired or just a different brand, but always Prompter People. They actually don't make this model anymore, and I prefer this over the new model. The new model has a lot more modularity in parts, the telescope up and down, the screen angle articulates, which I actually do like, because if you're on an extreme wide shot where the camera's tilted down, say it's like head to toe plus another body length tilted down, like you get a big set piece in the foreground, or like a news station set where you get the station logo on the floor in front of the presenter and the big master wide. When you're tilted down, like the readable portion of the prompter screen is, let's see, you can't like see the top half of the text because, you know, the Talon's vantage point's more like this. So the newer Q-Gear rig, you can articulate the mirror, whereas my old school one here is fixed. You can also see my stuff's so old, it's 4x3. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's pluses and minuses. I prefer 4x3 because it keeps, like, for the relative size of the screen, it keeps the width of the camera package narrower. So, you know, I'm frequently playing on a dolly or a slider. So being narrow is always good for going through doorways diagonally, which I find myself doing quite often, and small spaces. But anyway, I like this frame because it's you know, aluminum bar and aluminum plate, I guess. Solid, rigid, no flex. I've run this with I've had an Alexa Classic on here with an Optimo 24 to 290 numerous times, and you just need a longer dovetail. You need like an 18-inch dovetail to make the reach all work out, but it can take the weight, and of course you would need a heavier head, Sackler 18, which is just fine for the FX9 Plus prompter. So this is my go-to rig, and I can run the prompter monitor off the D-tap port for a brick on the back of the camera. If we're doing long takes, I'll put a shark fin on. I'm gonna experiment with this Amazon prompter. This thing was like $100, I think, on Amazon. You can see it's very similar in design. It's just very thin metal, kind of flexy. I started with a 12-inch dovetail on the bottom here, which got rid of the flex problem, made it nice and stiff. But then the lens is too high. It's actually above the hood. And the hood does telescope up and down, but I have the camera stage at its lowest position, and I have the hood at its highest. I could get in there, start drilling holes and put new blind nuts in and basically lop off some of this riser to make it sit lower. We'll see how this plays out on this one shoot, and if it's worth my time and effort to modify this, I will. But if I only get through this one shoot with it, that's fine too. So I'm running a daylight viewable, one of my older Lilliput monitors. I think that one's 800 nit. I just get that powered up. I'm going to send, I prefer to send composite standard def video to prompter. So this is my prompter computer, Chromebook. And then just a HDMI to old school standard def composite video. I'm going to run a T-splitter to feed my 2 prompter heads. And that BNC's around and goes into, obviously, the monitor 1 and T's to camera 2. we are in business. So I didn't have to T-split it because both monitors have loop through. So I came off the Chromebook and into the 15-inch. Looks good, nice and readable. Let's see, I'm going to back up. Again, my messy garage. So I would say I'm 8 feet away. So in 2010, David co-founded an online video platform embraced by product manufacturers, Future Film. Yep, lifted this copy off my website. And oh boy, that one's a little harder. Embraced by product manufacturers, Future Film Labs, and ad agencies to distribute video content. I have not updated my website bio in 2016 was the last time I touched it. So, yeah, boy, that 7-inch is a little small. I don't think there's a way to go Chromebook to iPad. I gotta be a Chromebook to Chrome tablet mirror. Do I want to go buy a Chrome tablet? Not really. But I mean, I can read that. I have LASIK 20/20 vision at the moment, but at 8 feet, it's not exactly easy. And I could go a little bit bigger text, but I've found when you really need 4 to 6 words per line. If you go bigger than that, it's too choppy of a delivery for the talent. Unless they're total pros, then of course, it's like they almost don't need the prompter. It's just like notes. They're not reading it verbatim. But now the other thing is I don't precisely know what we're doing. I get the call tomorrow, which is on Friday, shoots on Monday. It's very possible they're going to surprise me with like a PowerPoint slide deck with teeny tiny text. And in those cases, I've run into problems even on the 15-inch not being big enough. So if that is the case, what I think I will do is bring 2 Flanders monitors, which are bigger, and I've rigged these under the lens as like a confidence monitor. And anyway, I'll find out tomorrow on my call what we're doing, and then I gotta improvise with what I got. So check this out. Maybe you already knew this. Never occurred to me to try it. So I've historically, playing with prompters, every setup I've had, Windows, Mac, Chromebook, is I run the dual display in mirror mode. So whatever you see on the computer screen is exactly what you see on the prompter heads. The problem with that is once you skip off the mirror flips the image, right? So you have to have a prompter monitor that can flip the image so it's right side up. I have this little guy, the 7-inch, that'll do that, and then I also have a Free World, 2 of these. This one's damaged from a shoot. It's got some dead pixels, but it'd be fine for prompter. I actually prefer this one because it's nice and flat, but my Free Worlds are SDI or HDMI. The reason I don't send HDMI out on set would be obvious. You're running cables that are getting repatched every day. The HDMI is going to get damaged and cut out. So I like to just run composite video or SDI if I can, but my prompter monitors, my proper, real purpose-built ones, are VGA, HDMI, and composite video, but not SDI at any rate. So Free World's out. But I figured out in the settings here, dual display, focus up. I went to dual monitor, display screen is the external, use dual monitor mode, I checked that. So now, when I present, the prompter operator is seeing text in the proper non-mirrored display, but the second out on the Chromebook is sending, here let's go right side up, it's sending the text mirrored. So in the menu of the, I can turn off the mirror in the menu mode for each of these prompter heads. Wow, I'm confusing myself. I'm going to try that right now. Menu. Alright, get that one going the proper way now. Non-mirrored at the display head, but it is a mirrored image sending from the Chromebook. Now, mirror image, I haven't messed with these menus in forever. Displays just in default normal mode. The computer in dual head mode is mirroring. the image. Same over here. Now that I've done that, I can buy a 12-inch monitor off of Amazon, get it here next day. Okay, Sunday afternoon. I ended up ordering on Amazon a $100 inexpensive 12-inch monitor. The unfortunate thing is this does not rotate or flip the image in the monitor. I drilled all around Amazon for options and I couldn't find anything in this size that flips, which is 12-inch. If you know of a 12-inch that will mirror flip, please let me know. So I had my conference call finally with client on Friday for a Monday shoot, Friday afternoon, and the scope changed as it commonly does, and now we don't need a second camera, second prompter. They canceled that order, and instead they want a confidence return for a PowerPoint presentation below the lens. So I'm going to use my Flanders, which has got a DVI input adapted to HDMI. This will go to a producer's computer that I don't have with me today. I Amazon ordered a couple of 25-foot HDMIs, which are sitting in a box behind me, so they can be tethered but up to 25 feet away from the camera. This is not going to get used. I think I've spent a grand total of, I'll put the numbers on the screen, but about $200. The prompter head was $100, and it's made for an iPad. And then the monitor was 100. I also tried to find, I used to have VGA image flippers, just a black box that would take the input, mirror flip it, and output. I can't find anything in HDMI that'll do that. If you know of a flipper box, HDMI or SDI or even old standard def analog composite video, please let me know in the comments below. I'll order one. So I got a lighting plot and pictures of the set, because this set has traveled around the country. It's been used a few times, so I just got to match the plots. Last few days I've been working on my rental property, so I got all my tools in here. Got to pull these out and get my set cart loaded in. The set has got some 4-foot Kino fixtures recessed overhead in the rear flats that create a downlight gradient, daylight blue. And then the desk in the foreground has got a tungsten 4-foot tube downlighting the face of the desk. Now I own some 4-foot Kino singles, and I thought they were here in Texas, but they're not. So they must be with my gaffer Chris in California. I called the one gaffer in town, and he's got 4-foot Kinos. But then I got thinking, I'm like, man, I bet I could just do this with shop lights from Home Depot. So I went over to Depot down the street and picked up a few of these $30 shop lights. It's a fixture with a fluorescent tube for like $30 US, and I love the retail naming for color temp. Bright whites, and they have cool white and warm white and some other silly ones, but at least now they tell you somewhere in the package the color temp. Now these, oh, CRI of 82. Yeah, I missed that in the store, but I knew it was going to be a problem. Anytime you have a tube in a fixture, it's usually garbage, lots of green. So and 4000 is too mid-range, right? I need blue. So fortunately they have high CRI tubes available in stock. So I picked up 2 of these. 65,000 Kelvin, 90 CRI. And I believe these tubes were, I don't remember now, maybe it was like $15 for 2. I mean, it's incredible. I'm so used to paying like $30, $40 for a single KinoFlow tube. Now you can get better stuff retail. So I got 3 of these because I've got to downlight a couple rear flats, and then the front desk downlight is tungsten. So I picked up a same thing, the highest CRI available in 3000 Kelvin, which, what is the retail name for this? Do they call this warm white? Oh, no, bright white, of course. Yeah, because tungsten would be bright, and mid-range would be called bright. 3000K is bright, but 4000 is bright. And wait, what are they called? Daylight? I guess this is a little more proper. Daylight Deluxe High Color Rendering Lamps. Right. All right, so I got to remember to leave my drill and drywall screws in the truck so I can screw these into the set. Oh, and these things are already pre-wired with a proper plug. And they daisy chain, which is pretty cool.